Hey guys, we're here in the Stimhack League playing against Baba Hapt. He's playing Haarpischord. I am playing Noise Shop from Kip's deck. Let's see. So his first turn, he draws Hedge Fund, installs R&D. Okay, that seems alright. I kept this hand. I don't have Aesop's a wild side, but I do have an I've Had Worse. This is almost certainly a kill deck, so I kind of want to get my stuff set up relatively early. Let's go ahead and drop this Grimoire, and we'll drop cash for some money, and we get a mill out of it too. Next turn we'll probably draw up a couple times, maybe get this data sucker down and hit his HQ if he leaves it open. So I don't have much experience with Noise Shop. I've seen plenty of play with it. I know most of the general principles. I just don't have a lot of actual first-hand experience. I'm assuming that this is the 24/7 kill deck with Haarpischord. It's probably the best Haarpischord deck that I've encountered. I don't even know if there's any other real Haarpischord deck. So we're gonna assume that's 24/7 until we have proof otherwise. Which makes me immediately think, what is that? Does that look like a scoring play to you? I'm not sure. I don't know if I care too much about letting him get one or two out. Another I've had worse. That's good if he goes for the Scorch plan. Let's draw again. Aesops, that's very good for us. We have money right now, so let's go ahead and drop this data sucker. And we'll get a run on HQ. Maybe we can pick something nice out. And we get a Shattered Remains for our trouble. Okay, that's not bad. That could be trouble later on. We don't have any Plascretes in this deck. I don't really want the Grimoire to go down, though. It'd be nice to keep that for as long as possible. So we got something. And he triple advances. Is it the Astro? It is a Profiteering. Oh, wow. Okay, Profiteering. I have no idea what this deck is then, but it had Shattered Remains. Maybe it just does something else for the kill, right? Maybe that's all it is. We get another cash. Yeah, not an Astro. I'm not sure if that's a good thing here, because that Profiteering is kind of scary. We could go cash, Aesop's, hit Archives. We have 3 mills at this point. That seems okay. We'll drop the Aesop's. Let's see what we got in Archives. Might be a news team in here, something like that. That's fine. We can take -1 points. And we get a Profiteering. Besides that, oh, we had a Jackson and a Wraparound. Those are good hits. Definitely want to draw up, though. I'm currently in Scorch range. That was kind of silly. I should have drawn up more, or at least not played as many cards as I did. If he is Sea Source or Mid-Seasons, we're kind of boned right now. But no, he drops a Jackson. Okay. He's going to draw it. Maybe he's flooded. I kind of doubt it, though. I think he probably wants to rush against Noise. Although this Profiteering 2, in fact, I just have no idea what's going on. Just check my recording. Seems okay. So he only ends up discarding 1, and he installs something else in. Thing. So we'll sell off a cash. Let's see if we can draw into Wild Side, which is something else that's kind of good. Not much here. Well, let's see what this ice is. Maybe we can parasite it. It's Data Raven. Alright, we'll just jack out. And let's go ahead and draw Parasite on that. So that'll tick down. We can run it next turn and kill it. But we'd have to take the tag. Yes, it's encounter then paid abilities. Pretty important step in the run, 3.1, 3.2. So we'd still end up taking the tag from the win encounter ability of Data Raven, but then we can kill it without worrying about the subroutine. And man, he is digging. You know, with the money, I kind of have to assume that this is kill. I think I'm going to run the Jackson next. I have to believe News Team is in this deck, particularly with 1-point agendas. So I don't want to run Archives because the chances of there being a News Team in there at this point are probably pretty high. So I'll run the Jackson. He'll pop it if there's enough agendas in there. And that should leave us with some options. And the fact that he didn't score this makes me strongly suspect that it's not an agenda. Because if that's an Astro or a Beal or something like that, particularly if the Parasite goes down, like you probably just spend a turn scoring it and then maybe going in with the for the Jackson next turn if I left it. He's really thinking about which cards to discard too. So no wild side yet is kind of sad for us. Maybe it would have been better to go and what do you call it? To mulligan. That's it. Sorry. Maybe it would have been better to mulligan, try and get wild side early, but I had to assume this was a kill deck. I still think it is because we haven't seen any influence to the contrary at this point. And he's got Shattered Remains, presumably for destroying Plascrete. So I'm probably thinking this is a kill deck. He just kills in other methods. He doesn't use the 24/7. My guess is with Profiteering, he's either using mid-seasons or maybe C-Source. Okay, let's draw first. Always draw early if that's a possibility. Let's run this Jackson. He's probably going to end up shuffling. If he doesn't, we can just trash it. I have 3 bad publicity to spend, so this is literally a completely free trash for me. And yeah, he shuffles out. And can we get... I forgot about Aesop's. That was a mistake. He shuffles back none of the hidden cards. Hedge Fund, Shattered Remains, Jackson Howard. Okay. So he's got 6 face-down cards in there. What do we think those are? Do we think they're agendas? I kind of think they're agendas. I think he's on a mid-seasons plan. That's what I'm thinking. Which leaves me in a kind of bad spot. Let's draw again. Inject. I really want that right now. It's just mill. Yeah, I think mid-seasons is probably likely. I think he wanted me to run Archives when he left all these cards in there naked. I think he probably expected me to run Archives in the first place. And he got back money and a Shattered Remains, presumably for things still. He is digging. He's digging pretty hard here. Have you just not seen him mid-seasons? He did sweeps. And he's got money. Got plenty of money. I'm worried about being in the credit hole. Noise just does not have a lot of funds in the first place. It's pretty hard for him to ever get a money lead on anyone. I'm concerned about a fair bit of stuff. Well, let's see if we can get combo pieces then. Let's drop this imp, start hitting his HQ. He might have C-Source. That's just a chance we have to take, I think. And we got a Scorch. That's a good hit. So he's definitely on the kill. So 3 Scorch, 3 Traffic Accident is the most likely influence at this point. And let's just keep hitting HQ. We can't kill anything else with this imp, but maybe we can access. Okay, we access the traffic. Okay. We got a few sucker tokens. He might purge us at this point. I think purging, unless he has a good ice for HQ that he thinks we can't break. Yeah, purging is right in that situation. So let's start our turn. We're going to get rid of this imp. Draw for wild side. There it is. We've been waiting for you. Let's Deja for imp and cash, and we'll drop the cash. Right, started with 15, go down to 10. Go down to 9, should be at 13. No, with Aesop's 60. Yeah, that's right. I forgot I Aesop'd. So Aesop's for 3. So I have 15, gain 3, spend 6. That brings me to 12. Cash it. Okay, make sure that was right. Trash is a card. Okay, yeah, that's probably a news team, something similar. And he clicks for money. I'm guessing that's probably an agenda. Not a whole lot I can do about it. Game seems okay. Doesn't seem great. I don't have my chronotype yet, which is sad, but I'm sure we'll get it soon. Now let's just do this imp again. And the Data Raven. It's pretty taxing. I think I'm okay with that in this hand. Let's see if we can get something else. Data Raven. Okay, that's our last friend this turn, so let's go ahead and trash it. We'll get rid of this inject. I don't think I'm going to play it this game. Chronotype would be nice, but I don't mind waiting a bit for it. That might be his second or third Jackson he has on that server. I think it's an agenda though. Let's see if he scores it. Yep, that's scoring play. And it's an Astro. Boo. Alright, well, let's drop this clone ship. And let's gamble. Let's hit his hand again. Let's see what we can get out of this. Profiteering. Do I want to take that? I have a lot of money. I think I will. He has to have a money card to kill me at this point. Mid-seasons by itself won't be enough to kill me, except with traffic accident. No, because I can avoid most of those tags. I can sell off something for money. Probably this data sucker. I don't think it's going to be too much use. Nah, I have no idea what ice is on R&D. I assume a Gutenberg, maybe a pop-up, maybe a wraparound. Something like medium would be nice. No real targets for clone ship right now. If I need to, if he plays a mid-season or something like that, I can. Oh boy. Is that another Astro? Yeah, it sure is. Now he's on 5, which is bad news for us. Let's drop this peddler, see what we get. Get Aesop's, Gamble, Data Sucker. Only the Data Sucker is really useful. Well, let's hit more pieces out of HQ. 24/7 news cycle. I don't know that that's any useful here. Oh, he could use that for profiteering. Okay, let's trash it. And let's hit his R&D. We have 4 data second tokens. We can't quite kill a Well, we can if we bring this data sucker in. And it's good work, yeah. So let's go ahead and play this parasite out and put this data sucker out. And it'll be just enough for us to kill it. So let's access, and it's a breaking news. Alright, that's pretty good. And we'll ditch this Faust. He has no ice right now, so Faust isn't particularly useful. So he might just score out and win on us. That's a realistic possibility right now. I'd really love it if we were to start digging on him. But you gotta take what you can get. We hit HQ for combo cards. Maybe we get something, maybe we don't. Is that the game? And yeah. Oh no! It's a breaking news. Okay. So we can win with anything now. That's pretty bad for us. We still only have 3 points. See what we draw. Not a lot. Neither of those, Corroder nor Grimoire, is really useful right now, so let's just hit R&D, see what we can get. And we get a news team. That's sad. I don't think we can do anything about this imp because it's menu access. Yep. I really don't want to take the points, but kind of think I have to. So let's just take the point. And we can trash it for no reason. Let's hit R&D again. And it's a mid-seasons. We're beating them on credits, so this is fine. I don't care if he draws a mid-seasons, and let's hit HQ. It's another mid-seasons. Let's go ahead and trash it. We can get rid of our imp. And bring it back with a clone ship, something like that. And he might just score on us and win. We could have another breaking news in hand, something like that. That's definitely a possibility. Maybe we played a little too conservative earlier. That's certainly possible. Okay. Let's drop this. See if we can hit anything in hand. This is a pretty not great situation for us. 24/7. I don't want to do anything with that. Let's hit R&D. Maybe we can at least stop him on top deck and agenda, right? Even though he probably has one in hand at this point. There are a lot of agendas in this deck. Jackson Howard. We'll get rid of him. I think he might just win this turn. It's certainly a possibility. We didn't find a medium or anything like that. We knew he was on kill. Maybe he didn't find enough pieces. I'm not sure. But any 2-point agenda, yeah. Or I'm sorry, 1-point agenda, and yeah, just another breaking news. He's got it. Just didn't find medium at all this game. It would have been really useful, but we just never got it. Otherwise, the deck did okay. A chronotype would have been great just for extra clicks. Yeah, that opening hand Paris, I've had worse. Really just kind of kept us relatively secure. And this deck, this 24/7 Butcher Shop, his deck was a weird variant that I hadn't really seen before. But this deck can it can absolutely destroy you in 4 or 5 turns if it gets just a great draw. Yeah, medium would have really helped to just sort of dig, keep agendas away from them. We could have just imped them. Unless we were ahead on money. We were ahead on money for the second half of the game. Yeah, he uses the profiteering. I don't go with the profiteering, I go with the more standard setup with Beal. But yeah, he got us for this one. So now we can jump in. We'll play Corp to his runner. See how that goes. So Jinteki.net is pretty good now. I think I still slightly prefer Octagon for a few relatively minor things, but in general, I really like I like Jinteki. It's pretty nice. I'm very comfortable with it now. It works good. Let's put it like that. Updates are relatively often. They keep it pretty good in terms of stuff. And he's also playing noise. Okay. So our opening hand, we have an Astro, a 24/7 sweeps wraparound mid-seasons. I think I'll keep this, and I'm just going to push this Astro turn 1. Yeah, he takes him off. Okay, we're going to push this Astro right now. This is what I think is just sort of an important part of playing as a Corp. Even though I'm going up against Noise and Corroder and Falster in the deck, that's only 3 cards out of 45. The chance of him having them are pretty slim. He's more likely to want to play an Imp, hit R&D, hit HQ, play Data Sucker, hit R&D, hit HQ, get down Aesops, get down Cash, etc. He's more likely to do stuff like that than try and run this server. Besides which, and he gets the David. I forgot about the David. Even so, it would have only been 4 cards out of however many. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and res this, make him at least spend a token. So, he gets our Astro, and that sucks. But at the same time, that's kind of how it goes. I think it's better to trust your gear check. He only had 4. He knows a sweeps week with his cash. He only had 4 cards in the whole deck that can deal with this wraparound. Most likely, if he's playing a standard noise shop like the one I was just playing, I think doing that is still correct. Yeah, it didn't turn out good for us this time, but that's okay. And we even have a mid-seasons. We could try and land it if we wanted to. I would have to go broke, and I would only get 4 tags. So, right? I'm sorry, 3 tags. I don't think it's quite good enough for that. And I played a card before drawing. I should have drawn earlier. I'm usually good about that, but everyone makes mistakes. If I slowed down and thought about it a little more, I probably would have done that. So a good murder on the R&D, pretty standard. I have this news team and this too good to be true. I might try and score this too good to be true behind the wraparound. He can run in and steal it. It's only a point. It's going to give him a tag, which is kind of a hassle for him. Plays Imp, gets a pop-up window. That would have been nice to have. Accesses mid-season, and he imps it. Okay, that's fine. And he draws last click. Okay, there's a couple news team. Let's draw again. There's a breaking news. Okay. Let's drop this Shattered Remains in here and advance it. I don't know if he's going to fall for that. Not to mention it does nothing, so this is actually a pretty poor play. He doesn't have any hardware out, so this is pretty useless actually. I did not think that through before doing it. Probably better just to click for credits. When he runs in, he might steal our breaking news. That would be sad. He might think I'm just trying to get money. Like maybe I drew another mid-seasons, I've got an explode there. That's kind of reasonable. And now it's giving him that sort of catch-22, right? Yeah. And he runs it, he just runs straight in. Not afraid at all. He can just imp it. Yeah, and that's a poor play from me. It did make him waste a click and a David counter, which is kind of okay for 2 clicks and a credit. I don't know. He does only have the 1 David, most likely. Maybe it's okay. It's hard to say. And he accesses 24/7, and that's going in the bin. Right? I mean, he's got to bin that. I can't even imagine. Like, this is the combo piece. This is what makes this deck work. Pretty much. Well, he should throw it away, regardless of what he actually does. And he leaves it. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. We're going to spend his last David token. It's only 2 credits to us. That's fine. He's only going to access 1 card. So he must be thinking, because I don't have any agenda scored, that it's not particularly scary. The 24/7, that is. That's got to be what he's thinking. And okay, I kind of get that. I think the potential of just drawing a couple breaking news and just having it in hand at that point is kind of good, though. Maybe we shouldn't have kept our starting hand. I felt very confident about it. There's only 4 cards in his deck that deals with the wraparound. We had the Astro, which is just excellent to score. It puts a lot of pressure on the runner right away. Because even in a non-Fastro deck, the Astro train is real. And it requires answers, right? Like, you got to do something about it as a runner. You can't just let them Astro, breaking news, and call it a game. You got to kind of... It's a threat that requires an immediate answer by the runner, usually by making them speed up and play fast, instead of setting up their board and getting in a good position later in the game. And he steals the Explode. I'm going to go ahead and take the money. He's on 4 agenda points. That's kind of bad. It's not the end of the world. We could be in a better position, but we're okay. Let's see what we draw. We go another wraparound. Okay, I'm going to set up this turn. I'm going to put this on my server. I'm going to cover my HQ up. Put this in a new remote. See if you'll worry about it. So I have the too good to be true in my remote server, which is now safe because the David is out of tokens. Wrap around on HQ to keep him from poking in here, getting rid of my 24/7 or my breaking news, etc. And I put my news team in a new remote, hoping he'll run it to imp it. Maybe he thinks it's a Jackson. Maybe it could be something else, some kind of asset economy I have. That isn't particularly common in these Haarp decks, but it's not an impossibility. If you're running a Haarp deck like his, where you want to land a mid-seasons or a C-source, then trying to tax their money with asset economy kind of makes sense. It's just usually how it's not how it's usually played, but it's a strategy that maybe has some logic behind it. And he gets a news team. He hasn't seen any kill pieces yet, but he's only run HQ a few times. All he's seen is 24/7. And what else did he see? I forget the other card he saw. Maybe he only ran HQ one time. Okay, so news team did good. Put him down to 4 Gymnast points. So we're a bit better. And he installs another David. He's got a second David. That is interesting, but he's going to end his turn with a tag. He's not going to have the money to get rid of this tag from too good to be true. It does bring him back up to 4 agenda points, which is kind of sad, but I don't have the kill in hand, which is also kind of sad. I sure would love some scorched earth right now. I think I draw once or twice trying to get it. Yeah, and he imps it. Doesn't steal it. That's interesting. And takes a credit. I cannot. So, do I draw one? No, drawing one seems wrong. I'm just going to throw this down, score it out, get set up for a scorch in the future. Yeah, okay, seems to be going good. So he'll probably draw a couple times, maybe take money and clear his tag. Gets a peddler. That's pretty nice. What do we think's on the peddler? It could be anything. It's hard to guess, right? And he gets a cash. That's good for him. Gets another mill. So now he's milled no agendas. He's hit a sweep, a data raven, and a pop-up window. Okay. Let's get this other breaking news out. I think he could have Clot. That's a realistic possibility here. Let's draw. Get a sweeps. Draw again. Hedge fund. Alright, we'll hit the hedge fund. There are two reasons to hit the hedge fund instead of the sweeps there. One, he's not at 5 cards, so hedge fund just gets us more money. Two, sweeps can be used at lower money. So if something strange happens or we end up not playing another economy card for a while, if we get low on credits, we can't play the hedge fund. Here, we can play the sweeps in the future if we happen to get low on money for some reason. So on that peddler, do we think a Clot's on that peddler? He's playing 2 David, but Noise generally only plays 1 Clot if they play it at all. He gets a wild side. That'll be good for him. It'll be good for him to get some cards. He really needs an Aesops now to leverage things. He can't even afford a Clot, so now is the time to do it. We'll ask anyway, because it's just appropriate. And now we're in good shape. We just need to draw kill pieces. It's all we're missing at this point. So we have our 24/7 ready. We have sweeps for money if we need it. We have another news team that maybe I lay down in the server, get him to run. Because he still doesn't want me to score an Astro, right? If I score an Astro, I'm up to 4 agendas points with an Astro token. And I still have at least probably one more breaking news in this deck. I also have a 15 minutes in this deck. So it's pretty scary for him. Like, that still puts him in a spot where he's under a timer. And if he doesn't put me in a bad spot, then I could win the game very quickly with the right draws. Draws up again, he's up to 6. Another peddler, giving him more options, but he's still broke. So it's really not that many options. He should probably click for credit if he doesn't have an Aesops. Or if he can put the Aesops out for 0 if it's on this peddler. It's clearly not on this one, otherwise he would have played it. But if it's on this peddler, it's almost worth asking at this point if it's worth firing 20 silver 7 to kill off some of these resources. You can pay 2 credits, and killing off a wild side, a peddler, etc., that can be pretty good for us. We get a 15 minutes. And now I'm really asking myself if that's what I want to do. Holy moly. We can't kill him. We can trash his resources, and we should be able to score this 24/7 pretty easily. I don't know if I want to go for it. I have another 24/7, so I can fire again. I honestly think this would mess him up enough that it could be very good for us. So let's give it a shot and see how this goes. So we'll forfeit breaking news. We trigger breaking news. So now we're going to ask again. We're going to give him an opportunity to make things if he so chooses. I'm going to trash this first peddler first, because this clearly doesn't have Aesop because he would have played it if it was on there. Alright. So we're going to trash this peddler. And now I'm going to trash the wild side. Because this peddler didn't have much good on it. I'm guessing it could have good stuff on it, but I have no idea. But I trashed this peddler, and let's see what we trashed with it. We got Clone Chip, Grimoire, Medium. Okay, not an Aesop's. But we did get rid of some bad stuff. And he trashes his other peddler, which had Deja Lamprey on it. And he gets a Clone Chip for it. Okay. And we'll just get rid of his wild side now. So I think that was a productive turn. That was a good turn. We didn't hit an Aesop's, which would have been ideal. Okay. I didn't realize that Jinteki doesn't do 24/7 right with regards to breaking news. It makes them remove the tags at the end, which shouldn't happen, because it only triggers the one scored ability on an agenda, which you could argue does trigger on breaking news, except that you only remove the tags when it says the turn on which you scored breaking news ends, which didn't happen. We played 24/7. We didn't do anything with breaking news. And he's going to hit our HQ. Yeah, we're going to res. And now we see the benefit of keeping our sweep as opposed to our 15 minutes. He's going to imp it, which is sad. I imagine he'll imp the sweep. But yes, he does. And that's the right play, last click. But had we kept our sweep, which would have been nice, we would have seen the benefit of it, which is that I could play it even though I'm down to 3 credits. So this Scorch doesn't kill him, so there's no point in doing it. He doesn't have a clot in the bin. No way to get one out except for Clone Chip, but there's none in the bin. Let's just score this 24/7. And now we're set up to do the combo again if he clears his tags. He can only make one more run with that David. He might Clone Chip out another David. That's not unreasonable. I imagine he's holding I've had worse at hand, like I was. It certainly seems like the right play. Coming in HQ, I think that's correct. And he hits the news team. That's great for us. He might just go tag me at this point. But in that case, he's in a race. And it does mean this Gutenberg Ice does nothing at that point, if he decides to go tag me. He hasn't had agendas yet. He did hit a traffic accident, which is kind of sad. That would have been nice to have. But can't be helped at this point. Let's see what ranking Baba Haft is. He's 123rd, so he's kind of low down. He only has 5 games in. Can't really say anything at that point. And he takes the -1. Okay, so he doesn't want to go tag me yet. I don't know if that's right or wrong. He'll probably spend next turn maybe getting more money and then clearing tags. That seems fine, really. And he's out of David tokens again. Can Clone Chip another David? I don't want to put this Astro down particularly for that reason. Maybe I want to try and get the kill. Let's put Jackson down. We'll go ahead and draw. Mid-seasons. You're not going to be in use right now. So we'll toss the mid-seasons. This might be enough to make a clone chip out of David. If it is, then that's probably a good thing for us. He's spending more money not killing tags, giving us more time to set up combo pieces. It removes the threat of stealing these Astros, except from out of hand, of course. Purging to get rid of this 1 M token. It's not the most unreasonable play. It's a little slow. He's still tagged. We've got him kind of on the back foot. He gets out of cash. Okay, so he does not get rid of David. So this means the Astros will be safe if I put them behind this wraparound. Currently, it looks like they'll be safe. Who knows if they actually will be. Maybe he's playing a third David for all we know. But I'm going to go ahead and put one of these down. I'm going to shuffle this Jackson back into my deck. Well, not the Jackson, but I'm going to put Traffic X in it. And Too Good to Be True. And I think a Sweeps into my deck. Let's see what we draw. We draw another Jackson. Okay, that's good. Let's put down the Astro and we'll just credit. So this does have the dual benefit of letting me score out an Astro, if I can, which is great. I can also play Scorched Traffic Accident if that opportunity presents itself. I have enough money for that. He probably has I've Had Worse in his hand by now. He probably has one of them. But, you know, I can't do a ton about that right now. So by using that clone chip to not bring out a David, he basically gave me a wide open scoring window. He has nothing that can break this wraparound, from what I can see. Get a hit archives, there's really nothing in there. Yeah, there's nothing in there for him. I got rid of anything of value. Too Good to Be True maybe would have been okay leaving in there, just because it would have brought him back up to 3 points, but he would have had to spend a click and 2 credits to get rid of the tag. He's fine on credits, but these clicks are kind of killing him right now. So it's hard to say. It's also worth noting I can at any time use this 24/7 to give him tags again with breaking news. And potentially get rid of this Aesops, particularly if he discards his other Aesops. And he discards Chronotype, meaning he doesn't have a wild side. He discards a Faust. Okay. Let's see what we draw. We draw a QPM. I think I'm just going to score this Astro. Can't do anything to stop us, and it puts us in a very strong position. Let's get rid of this Shattered Remains. I don't think that's going to be any good. It's probably not running Plascrete. Grimoire is kind of slow right now, especially with all those caches in the bin. But he's got 2 in the bin, but it's still kind of slow. So I think this is fine. Hold on 1 second, I might grab some water. And we can see how slow his noise kind of feels without this wild side power in his engine, right? Wild side is just really important to get things done. He gets out another David and plays it. And he's just taking a pot shot at R&D. I kind of don't like that. You don't really want to take single access on R&D. At this point, he's just trying to keep me off agendas, because I have the Astro token scored, but I literally have enough points for the win in my hand. I really think you want to make a stronger play than that. I'm not sure what exactly, but frankly, I think better is available. And now I don't even know what I want to throw away. Let's put down this Jackson. 2 credits is enough to score from out of hand. You can score another Astro with 2 credits in. This Jackson may cause him to run. It's going to cost him a David counter and a click, which is fine by me. I can shuffle back in, probably more money. Probably sweep, switch, hedge, just because I'm kind of broke right now. It's also cards that if he wants to get rid of, he has to use them for. So it makes it a bit harder for him to find agendas that way. And he's kind of in a bad spot here. He gets rid of the imp. I also don't know if I like that. It depends on what's in his hand. I mean, he does need money, and imp is the best thing to get rid of right now. I concur with that. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this Jackson. Let's do sweeps, hedge, sweeps. Just get more money. Yeah, and he does get into my server. Not that it matters in this case. It does matter in some cases. It's important to remember that for some things, like John Massanori, Desperado, things like that, where a successful run, even if you have nothing in the server itself, if there's ice there, yeah, he plays out a wild side, then that seems fine to get rid of the imp for the wild side. But on the subject of successful runs, even if there's nothing in the server, if you have ice there, the server still exists. And so it's important to remember to complete the run. Also, for a card like Successful Demonstration, the Corp card, very good too. Yeah, I'm going to score this Astro. You can't do anything to stop it. And frankly, this puts us in a dominating position. We are at a spot in the game where we can win next turn. We can win by click 1, installing breaking news, click 2, getting a credit, click 3, advancing breaking news, throwing the Astro token on it. Score. And he plays out the clot. That's right, because he doesn't want us to score out. So we will probably purge this turn. Unless we draw something weird, I'm probably going to purge to set up for a next turn win. And we get an explode. Let's purge. And I'm going to just drop this explode in archives. Now if he runs archives, I'll gain 5. He will get agenda points off of it, but the 5 credits will be great, frankly. So I don't mind. He gets the data sucker. Parasites this. This is too slow. It's not going to matter really. And he hits my archives. Okay, so I'm going to win this turn. I'm not a whole lot sure about what he could do different this game. He didn't seem to have a great draw. He seemed to be playing against the kill, but the Astro is just so strong that you can't do a lot about it. Yeah, that's just the power of Astro Script. It's so good. You can win just by scoring out if the kill plane doesn't come together. He milled some Scorched. He milled 2 traffic accidents. We shuffled 1 back in. We didn't see the kill, so we never got to fire it off. But by just playing good, playing smart, disrupting him enough to give us a scoring window for these Astros, we're able to get it done, even with our primary plan just not working. And you can see here, there's another Scorch. There's 2 more traffic accidents. It's going to come. It's just taking a while. But destroying his economy with the Street Peddler, killing the first wild side, it really slowed him down. He was just out of money, and it gave us this huge scoring window to get this Astro done. It gave us just enough of a window. We could get this Astro out. We had to be worried about the David. If you remember, he had that David in the bin, and he could use the clone chip to get it out. By clone shipping out the clot, I'm sorry, not the clot, the cache, Oh, my words are mixed up. By clone chipping out the cache, he removed that threat. Now it was no longer a threat. That's why clone chip with clot in the bin is actually a very, very big threat. Because at any time you can just say, hey, I have clot. That's why the threat of clot is so powerful. By using the clone chip to get the cash out, which was probably a fine play because he was really hurting for money at the time, it's probably an okay play. But it removed the threat of David, and it meant that there's only 2 or 3 cards left in the deck that could deal with our wraparound, which meant we could relatively safely throw this Astro there, like we did the very first one. Remember the very first one we said the odds are he doesn't have an answer to this wraparound, we're going to play it out. But he did. He had the David, and he correctly reasoned that we had an agenda there trying to score behind a wraparound, and he was absolutely right. He had that right. And so we did it again. We played the odds again with our second Astro. We say he probably doesn't have an answer to this. Faust really isn't that good. Faust is going to cost you 4 cards to get in. And in the state he's in with no wild side, no money, he probably doesn't want to do that. So he has to rely on Kuroda. That's 1 card in his deck. And he had 20-something cards left in his stack. So he's been through half his deck. What's the chance he has 1 particular card? Maybe 50-50. I'm honestly not sure of the numbers. That sounds about right. But he didn't see it. And it gave us this window for the Astro, and we were able to fast advance out, even though our primary game plan just didn't come together for us at any point. Alright. I think that's it for this Stimhack League game. Thanks for watching, guys.